What it is, every Sunday, we say what they can't. We starting a little bit early. You know how it is. DTF Radio in the building. All right. Project TV. What up, everybody? Gotta say what up. Make sure you follow the account at We Say What They Can't. Lot going on. Shouts out Cinemax yesterday for the barbecue. I'm gonna start off with a couple of tracks. I feel a little West Coast just right now, so I might as well. Like I said, make sure you follow that account. We Say What They Can't.
I ain't the same as you niggas. Don't compare me to these rappers, ain't a lane with these niggas. You claiming I bang on you niggas. Copping to the brain, no games, get out of line and we gon' aim at you niggas. Third letter C, can't forget to say it 2 times. Might say fuck the car, hop up on the blue line. Niggas say they want to watch them fold up like they futons. Nellis to the west, man, I got homies from the deuce line. Hating get you boot bomb, chains with my boot on. Bag them like groceries, can't save it with no coupons. Look, cop from Compton, Lantana, Black Grip, Earth Gang, Brown, Blue Bandana. This TG's can't tame us. Leaving niggas nameless while we chucking up our fingers. From Carwell to Aprilla, from the Evans to the Millers, all my niggas real killers. AKs, Mac 11s, extendos, revolvers, whatever, my nigga. Whoa! You scared, niggas? Yeah. Don't ask me no questions.
I don't think y'all ready for that. Let me smooth it out a little bit.
Bitch, you know what it is. Don't ask me no questions. Cause you know what it is. Cause you know what it is. Gangsters in this bitch, huh?
Baby say she wanna make a porn. Said her nigga bullshit and then he born. Get me mad, I start popping like corn. And all my niggas pistols go off like a
Wasi Lopez.
One down, less hater on my list. I hate you fucking niggas like I hate cuffs on my wrist. Yeah, I'm that nigga that you heard you can't fuck with. They saying I'm a dick, so what? Bitch, suck it, you suck it. Smoke lava in public. Your baby mama love it. You can't take it like extra luggage. Watch her rubbing, she love it. What girl? That's my cousin. She said she went to D, so I said, what's your budget? How you cheated on your nigga? No. But if you thought about it, it's a condom in my wallet, and I don't give a fuck. That's what I'm trying to do. Why you standing?
This was what I was supposed to start out with.
I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8 38s, 9s, 10 Mac 10s. The shits never end. You can't touch my riches.
But it's one of those days we say what they can't.
57 bitches. Biggie Smalls, the millionaire, the mansion, the yacht, the 2 weed spots, the 2 hot clocks. That's how I got the weed spot. I shot Dread in the head, took the bread and the lamb spread. Little Gotti got the shot into your body, so don't resist or you might miss Christmas. I tote guns, I make number runs, I give MCs the runs dripping. When I throw my clip in the AK, I slave them far away. Everybody hit the DECK. My slow flow's remarkable. Peace to Mateo. Now we smoke weed like Tony Montana sniff the yayo. That's crazy blunts, mad elves. My voice excels from the avenue to jail cells. Oh my God, I'm dropping shit like a pigeon. I hope you're listening, smacking babies at their christening. So you better grab your pistol, cause if you sit still, I'm gonna make your fucking shit spill. And I'm talking about buckets, why did I have to do it? So now said fuck it, you got a gun, nigga, bust it. Cause I got more shots to pop ya, big popper. Breaking you off something proper.
Gotta have you near all the time. With your dreams
So true.
in mind. Gotta be a part of your soul and of your heart all the time.
We say what they can't.
Nothing in the world that I do means a thing without you. I'm just half alive in my struggle to survive without you.
That's what it is. We say what they can't.
Well, why not blow up the spot with Synapse Truck? Release the brainstorm to make your motherfucking brain warm. A strange form, something kind of lyrical. Biggie the bastard, Synapse kind of spiritual. Well, ain't God we trust, guns I bust. Got that disgusting suicide thumping. And do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that I bring? Bring a MC,
Bring my real bitch back. Tony Queen, you can bring the real bitch back. If I could, I get the keys to the jail and free Bobby. We need a real. Hold your head, bring my real bitch back. Tony Queen, you can bring the real bitch back. If I could, I get the keys to the jail and free Bobby. We need a real. Hold your head, bring my real bitch back. Holy Queen, you can bring the real niggas stack. If I could, I'd get the keys to the jail and free Bobby. We need the real. Hold your head, murder.
Just put the cash up, they had them boy medulla. Call out my broski G, they like call up the jeweler. I just spent some cash on the piggy ring. Just made some brand new shmoney, what the fuck you think? And bitch, I'm heading to your city. Just to clap up on them city. Me and JJ went for 50. Fell off the gas tank, it was empty.
Just call them things up, they back and brought them, shoot them. But once he disrespect, it's like I got him. I just spent some cash on the 40 Glock. And my nigga killer ran through like 40 Glocks, bitch. And I'm headed to your block, bitch. Just to unload all these Glocks. My AR hold 30 shots, bitch. That's worth the cane, that's worth the hot. Bitch, I'm headed by minute. So I got to keep the same. For cocaine, we pull out Henry. Cause for cocaine, we done shot plenty.
Well, it seems I got a second to rock, so
I'm sorry, man. She called me bro, they in the street shooting Jimmy.
play some of the artists we gonna be talking about today.
I'm sliding over cars while I shoot. I think that I'm Tom Cruise. But bitch, I'm Bobby with that tool.
I made my name up in these streets like a real nigga. I keep them pistols in my Jeep like a real nigga. I make sure all my homies eat like a real nigga. I fuck your bitch and go to sleep like a real nigga.
He's
Man,
free.
My pockets be obese cause I deal, nigga. A couple boxes ain't no sneaks, just some bills, nigga. The way I handle all my beefs, I just kill niggas. If you want honey, then you love me, I'm a real nigga. Word, studio thugs, you can't do what I does. I ain't really a plug, you just cool in them clubs. Before this rap, I had buzz. Feds watching this shit. They jammed up D on that road, he ain't cooperate shit. I hold him down with that cash for being real like I knew. Loyalty ain't no favor, nigga, it's just what we do. BSB is the crew, we get wild like a zoo. But half the time we like chillin', fucking with hoes by the two. Man, it's nothing, all these bitches is fucking. All these niggas are frontin', I see them, they don't want nothing. I smack, shoot, or snuff. They don't respect my name, violence my go-to move. I make them respect the pain, motherfucker. I made my name up in these streets like a real nigga. I keep them pistols in my Jeep like a real nigga. I make sure all my homies eat like a real nigga. I fuck your bitch and go to sleep like a real nigga. Man, on my pockets be obese cause I deal, nigga. A couple boxes ain't no sneaks, just some bills, nigga. The way I handle all my beefs, I just kill niggas. If you want honey, then you love me, I'm a real nigga.
Saboteur for my sneakers, I Ferragamo on my belt. From drug dealing to Gwen and my niggas, shout out to self. Play the block like I'm never leaving. Addicted to designer, STK, I order steak, treat every game like it's the final. Wake up and go get hit. Nike Tech with the hood and shit getting ugly like Whoopi. I'm
making skirt. Oh, that shit fishy with the shit, I'm up for skirt. Then back to this money when I skirt. Oh, skirt. Oh, skirt. They try to tell me I can't put it right. Trying to drip my name onto the dirt. I'ma show you what I really worth. Get to work and put work in, you know it's skirt. Fucking your bitch while you at work. I'm in my back in a bird. Flipping swerve, running on the corner turn. Dipping swerve, riding on the skirt. After the fuck I was selecting go I put the razor to the plate and skirt. Hop on the stove, watch the flame it out. With the block, I said I got the whip, head to the kitchen, make a skirt. Scraping the plate, I make a skirt. Ooh, that shit fishy with the shit, I'm up a skirt. Back to this money when I skirt.
More money, more problems. No, I gotta get the money. I ain't care about no niggas. I need money piling on money, yeah. Money piling on money, yeah. Money piling on money, yeah. Money piling on money. Stack it up like this, stack it up like this, stack it up like this, you flip, stack it up like this. I need money piling on money, yeah. Money piling on money, yeah. Money piling on money, yeah. Money piling on money. Middle finger to a hate.
No, I don't need no new friends. Yeah, only me and my wolves. Came from the first floor. Where the hell was you at? When I was trying to get more. Yeah, man, I swear I'm trying to come up. Yeah, I swear I'm trying to come up. You be fucking old commas. I need comma after comma. I need money sitting on money. I need money making more money. I need more haters hating on me. I need to know I'm still getting money. Yeah, remember being broke on Willow Road. All of my brothers are youth store. Man, I chose to take a different road. Now I'm out here doing hella shows. Bank boy, yeah, still the click. Bank boy, cash I'm trying to get. KC told me if it ain't about the money, nigga, it's irrelevant. Money piling on money. Money piling on money. Yeah, money piling on money. Yeah, money piling on money. Stack it up like this. Stack it up like this. Stack it up like this. Stack it up like this.
It's smoking on there too like breathe. I just fill my mouth up with goals like some D's. I will get that cheese up on me and woozy. Yeah, I not see my water till I leave. I put my dope inside that bag, well, yeah, I leave.
Right now, hit me up on that Twitter, Instagram, whatever. If you want me to play something, let me know, alright? That's what it is.
Getting all that money, I can't die. Yeah, getting all that money, I can't die. Yeah, I don't know why that money multiply. Yeah, turn that bitch, look at my face. Yeah, $50 on my face. Yeah, hold up, baby got it. Hey, ask her how much do she weigh. Yeah, hold up, this is the way. Yeah, only money in the way. Yeah, I do not care. Yeah, put that bleach on in my hair. Yeah, my girl, she don't got no hair. Yeah, cause she only use that now. Yeah, feel every flare when I walk in with a roll. So like a jumping on my, yeah, I put my dick in the throat. Yeah, wanna see me? Yeah, better pay me for a show. Yeah, never put trust in a hole. Yeah, number one, respect your dough. Yeah, smoking on them too like breathe. I just fill my mouth up with goals like some D's. I will get that cheese up on me and woozy. Yeah, I not see my water till I leave. I put my
pull up like what's up? Everything on fleek. I do it nice, 7 days a week. Like, oh my God. I don't do nothing for free. You know I gotta charge. When I'm done, they be like, you better. When that check come, I be like, you better. I'm Cardi, exotic, my ice retarded. I walk in the party, get started. Murder scene, he want all this. Yo, bitch, I demolish. On fleek is what you call this. It's not a game. What is you saying? Bullshit is something I don't entertain. Come correct if you gon' call out my name. Not talking money, I'm switching these lanes like swerve. Now watch me. Swerve. Boy, you better respect the curve. I'm on my bullshit. But what you heard? Oh, you ain't know. Well, you gon' learn. I pull up like what's up? Everything on fleek. I do it nice. 7 days a week. Like oh my God. I don't do nothing for free. You know I gotta charge.
I won't show no mercy, niggas ask for it. I can't show no mercy, niggas ask for it. Hold up, wiggle. Let's get to it though. These streets wiggle.
Who's at that Fab concert last night?
Hit it, then my dog killed them. Bitches think they slick using that dog filter. Sure they know no matter what, my piece is hidden. She pillow talking, telling me your piece is dead. Fuck that friendly nonsense, keep it monetary. Let's get it. Rockin' Fendi Monster, I'm so fly, scary. Twin cannons with him, that Mariah Carey. My nigga make a movie, that's that Tyler Perry. That's the Spike Lee, F. Gary Gray. Chopper beat your face, call it Mary Kay. 2 birds, a white girl, Ashley, Mary Kay. Drop them chickens in the flour, let them birds marinate. All my day ones rockin' day dates. My son wear Rollie to his play dates. Said he out the picture, shorty photo cropping. I be more concerned about when that photo dropping. I'm cool on all these mixy niggas, photo hopping. Swear I'm cool. They post it but don't buy it, niggas, photoshopping. Everything you niggas wanna get, I done had that. Know I'm son of niggas, so I started wearing dad hats.
I used to break in the crib, now I got a safe in the crib. Try ride, crime rate bill, so it ain't safe at the crib. I just want money forever, told them this how I'ma live. Shooters and murders I seen, I ain't never say I did. As a kid growing up, I done seen a lot of shit. As a kid growing up, I done did a lot of shit. I done seen high shooting niggas, now I see right through people. 3 years of my life to them people. Judge they owe me a menace. I'm Mike Brown to the people. I got a ride on my head up. Police killing my people. Overseas I'm living. I ain't taking no chance.
All I know is drill, drill. Put them on the poster. Reward money for the killer. They ain't never found a killer. Don't nobody know none. I rob niggas for they tools. Bro, going up to school. Start a war, gotta move. Free that boy, let him loose.
Bitch from Pakistan, what up? Some Rarers in them lambs, what up? About to fuck this club up, what up?
Every time I think they go cut me off, they give me a second.
I turn the Ritz into a pool house. It's like eviction number 4 now. Go ahead and that shit on the floor now. Girl, go ahead and show me how you go down. And I feel my whole body peeking. And I'm fucking anybody with their legs wide. Getting faded with some bitches from the west side. East Coast, nigga reppin' north side. Never waste a hoe's time. Bitch, I'm on my own time. Fuck a nigga cosign. Always change my number and my phone line. Baby girl, I don't lie. Used to have no money for a crib. Now my room service bill cost your whole lot. If they try to stem me, I go all out military. I'm camoed all out like I'm in the military. I free up all my niggas locked up in the penitentiary. Cause I'm always reppin' for that low life. Reppin' for that low life. Low life, low life, low life. No, I'm reppin' for that low life. Yeah. Still I'm reppin' for that low life. Said I'm reppin' for that low life.
Yeah, give me my shades. Girl, what's up with that nana? Pop a curtain, then I go nana. Free my buzz in the slammer. All my niggas wild bandana. Fuck a 512, this a nana. My niggas down the bottom come counter. What's up, Ken? Mama buy me gifts, fuck a Santa. Killer cop move to Atlanta. Missing last goon in my Hannah. Pop a 30 now, I'm feeling like a sauna. Got me feeling like I'm Tony Montana. And never gave a fuck about my manners. When I'm on these perks, I'm never panic. The cannon knockers ass in Alabama. Oh, with a feeling on these nanas. This movie kinda feeling like a friend.
Yeah, we back at it again. Yeah. So
Try to end out on this song. Just Smittle. We say what they can. Tell a friend to tune in.
We them real niggas in here. So tell a friend. Cause we back at it again. So tell a friend. So tell a friend. So tell a friend. So tell a friend. Yeah. Cause we back at it again. They love it when you lose. Yeah. But they hate it when you win. Yeah. But we ain't even gonna trip about it. Nah. Cause the hate ain't just begin. So get your little paper, nigga. I'm counting money with my friends. And I don't even want your ass, baby. Why? Cause I'm lurking on your friend. My squad lit up in the spot. Niggas front, you getting shot. Then we post up on the block. A couple blocks on our side like a cop. Different foreign, different Jordan. Her basket open, then I'm scoring. I hit it once your bitch is boring. Come and get your hoe, this bitch keep calling. Whoa. Yeah, we back at it again. Yeah. So tell a friend. Got the whole spot lit. So tell a friend. We them real niggas in here. Yeah. So tell a friend. Cause we back at it again. So tell a friend. So tell a friend. So tell a friend. So tell a friend. Cause we back at it again.
Foreign cars, pretty women. Dusty in the building, so you know we
Yo.
The whole spot lit. So tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. We the real niggas in here. Yeah. So tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Cause we back at it again. So tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. So tell a friend, tell a friend.
1, 2. Oh, that's kind of loud. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here I go, Christian. Here I go. It's the host with the most, Dharma Rock. First of all, I want to welcome back my man, PS Dot. What's going on, PS?
Yo, what up, yo? Got a right to be hostile. My people been persecuted, baby, and I'm back, and I'm ready to be mad.
No doubt. to my right, Pyro the Fireman.
Yo, it's Pyro. We in the building. Brooklyn all day. Represent. We say what they can't. We do what they won't. That's just how it is.
Cinemax.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Cinemax. Happy Sunday.
DJ Lord Jinx.
Sheesh, what up? It's your homie Lord Jinx. It ain't what you say. It ain't what you do. It's how you do it.
That's
doubt. What it is, man.
The girl next door. Raw UT. What's going on, baby?
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Good morning.
She ain't want to sit down, but I had to bring her to sit down. Yeah. I was gonna borrow a PS mustache too, but I'm gonna get that. I'm getting him a little later on that one.
Okay. Yo, I see those pictures. I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, yo, he gotta go back to Bermuda and get that mustache.
Doing it up, babe. That's how you do it when you're away. Do it like the country you in.
No doubt, no doubt. Yo, listen, it's a lot. We missed it. First of all, I also want to thank. We had some winners. We had a nice little contest this week. And it was so, we had Ray, the Prez,
Nisi Payne,
and
good supporter,
Natasha
and
Watson.
Yes.
Yeah. So they'll be at the New York Liberty game today at 3. I'll meet y'all there, take some pictures. We're going to have some fun.
Courtesy of We Say What They Can't. We do what they won't.
No doubt.
Whatever that is that we want to do.
Pyro, let's get to the news.
Yo, Hip Hop Honors was this week. Jinx, bring it down a little bit for me because we got to talk a little something. You see what's playing in the background?
I like the energy. Ooh, that was nice.
You see what's playing in the background?
Yeah, this why I was Jinx getting early. I like that.
Listen, man.
I'm throwing shots today. I feel good.
But before we get to the main point, what was your overall thoughts of the BET Hip Hop Honors Awards honoring the ladies of hip hop?
Let me stop y'all right there. Y'all keep saying the BET hip. It was VH1.
That too, same thing.
No, actually it's not.
Shout out to Cinemax Cookout. She's the results for all this all this nonsense that's coming out of our mouth right now.
Thank y'all for coming through.
Absolutely.
Though. Appreciate it.
So the VH1
hip
hop who wants to go first? I got a couple of things to say, but
Okay, I'll go first. I thought that I like Remy's tribute to Missy.
Yeah.
That was dope. Keke Palmer, she shocked me. I was like, look.
What do you mean?
Isn't she like an actress? I didn't know.
She gets busy though.
She does music. She did good, but she just shocked me. I was like, oh, okay.
She can sing and all that.
Who did she honor?
She did Salt and Pepper.
That's the problem I have. they made Salt and Pepper look like a one-hit wonder, and I just thought that was pretty trash. It's like if it wasn't for them, none of the other female artists would have this. I thought they did them real dirty.
You know why I think they did that though? Because this was the third time they honored Salt and Pepper. Second or third time they honored them on this awards.
That's true.
So it was just like they probably was like, yo, we just put her and Queen Latifah honestly been honored a couple of times. So, you know, it's like I think that's why they fast forwarded a little bit on a segment. But
possibly.
See, you saw what I saw.
Possibly.
But I thought the performances was good though. On their segment, I thought Keke Palmer and what's the other girl name? Whoever she was nice too.
What's that? Jeezy.
Yeah, I think they did a good job.
Yeah, it was cute.
Good.
It was cute. Eve, I love Eve. I miss Eve. Eve need to come back with something strong, but she did good.
You know, it's crazy. I don't think I appreciated Eve when she was rocking.
Exactly.
I kind of like her. I like her now.
Right.
I didn't like her back then,
You
but
did? I always loved her.
Yo, you know how many people thought that was Missy performing when Remy first came out?
Yeah.
That was funny. But you know, it wasn't. It was cool. But to the main event. The main event. Your man, Rich Homie Quan, Little Kim, Get Money.
get money. What you say?
Listen, man. Everybody's coming at Rich Homie Quan. I'm not mad at him.
Why?
I'm mad at Little Kim.
Yes.
You didn't have to bring him out. You got a Brooklyn rapper, Papoose, is right there in the balcony.
That's true.
You could have called Fab. You could have called Mano. You could have called. How about calling Little C's?
Okay, listen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. That's nice and loud.
Do you guys think that it was actually Little Kim who wanted him to come out?
She said it. She issued a statement. She said, yeah. She said that's her friend. He wasn't the first option. But when Rick Ross and all these other people had other obligations, she went with Skinny. Come on, man!
She's trying to keep her name out there. She's trying to keep her name out there.
It was bad. It was
but
bad.
hold up.
Listen. The black Little Kim wouldn't have did that.
But hold up. We mad at Rich Homie Quan for forgetting the verse. She forgot her own verse.
Exactly.
Yo, because that's not Little Kim, yo. She didn't forget her verse. She never knew it. That's somebody else, yo. Do you see that person?
Y'all going in today?
Do you see
she looked
that
like
person?
White chicks. The Wayans. That's what she looked like.
Yeah. Exactly.
All due respect.
She was so pretty. I don't know.
Very pretty. Very pretty.
She done messed it up, man.
She done tried to look like Pamela Anderson and just went all wrong with it.
For me, it's like, is she finished or is she done?
Yeah.
Because after that, it's done for me.
Her following is kind of strong. I think she'll always be all right.
She might be all right on the following joint, but I just think like musically, whatever it is, if you're trying to do that, like this was the ultimate sign of disrespect. Rich Homie Quan really honoring my man Big,
and then he forget the words. It would have been all right if he remembered if he knew the words, and he did it. He did it.
Not for me.
He can't pronounce his own raps.
Come on,
his own rap. You don't know what he's saying.
I'm trying to help the brother out here.
How he gonna karaoke somebody else's joint?
P.S. You up?
Little Caesar Alamo.
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback on what Maroc said. I don't know why she ain't called Mano like this. I would never even think to call him to do a verse.
Exactly.
Like, especially, we gonna tribute Big. Let's see what we can call. You get Rich Homie Quan. Like, come on. Like, it was bad, especially not only that he forgot his word, he forgot the words, but then when he just stopped.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the ultimate unprofessional move to do as a performer. Yeah. You just say anything. You just any Biggie word, just do some Biggie rhymes.
Say
baby, anything. Like, just keep going.
So what do y'all think he can do to remedy this? This is what I think.
Nothing.
I think that he should walk from Atlanta to Junior's. I'm saying.
I like it.
I forgave him.
To Peachtree to Flapper Jazz.
That's right.
I forgave him. I already forgave him.
I like it.
I'm good with it.
Ain't nothing he could do, man, because the only thing you could do after that is come back with some strong music. Exactly. That's nothing he can do.
Listen.
Come back from that.
Not from New York.
Not from New York. Yeah.
New York,
from hardcore Biggie fans. Every time I see him, I'm gonna be like, nah, son, just get out of here.
I don't have a record deal, right? And I wouldn't call him for a feature on my demo. Yo, it's just
that's horrible.
He can't go to your daughter's Sweet 16 and perform.
No, he can't do any of that.
He can't even get in the site.
He hung out with Young Thug. We can't roll.
Hold on, Jigs, hold on. I'm about to put people on the spot. Can anybody here say at least 8 bars of that Biggie's verse?
This is the difference. This is the difference.
Let me go.
Do we want to do a contest to see who gets the better?
I know I'll win. I'm not even good. I'm gonna take myself out of that.
This is the difference.
Y'all ready?
He knew he had a show.
He had rehearsal and everything. Right?
Exactly.
But hold on, this is good for the show. Hold on, wait a minute. You ready? You ready? Hold on, wait. Yo, you got the instrumental to get money?
That's what I was about to say.
You got the instrumental to get money? That's all right. Do it off this. Do it off of this right here. Yeah. You ready? Let's go.
Wait. What's the first verse? What's the first part?
You wanna sit mo?
You wanna sit mo on my living room floor?
What?
Play Nintendo with Season Nino. Pick up my phone, say Shonda now. Sex all night, bad head in the mall.
Hey.
Spin my weed, smoke all my weed. Tattoo on titties,
already.
saying
She could've got Shonda.
Take it. You wanna
Come on, sit
Yeah.
Kim should have got sit next.
The name of the show is We Say with Rich Homie Quan Cant.
Exactly.
Yo, what's the next one before we bring the special guest in?
Listen, man. Y'all wanna talk
Real
about...
teachers disappeared on us too.
Yeah. She broke out.
She said the guest is here. I'm out.
So listen, did y'all have a problem with what Bow Wow did this week when Omarion broke up with his shorty, April?
You know what's crazy?
Let's tell the people what happened.
Okay, so Bow Wow and Omarion and his baby mom's April Bryant allegedly broke up this weekend, and Bow Wow tuned into social media and was like, "Yeah, it's all good. We going now. We gonna get some bitches and drinks and turn up." And he got backlash from the females. They were like, "You can't do that. Like you're a sleazeball. You gonna go hang out. You probably was been hanging out with bitches and I mean, I don't think with that situation he had no coof about it. He just was like,
here's my problem. Just like with mostly all these celebrities, if you really felt that way, text them.
Right.
Call them that. Don't put them in there. When you put it on social media, now it is looking a little funny. So that's the problem I had with it. I think that he should have just hit his man direct. Yo, what up? How you feeling? If you up to it, let's go hit the strip club. Let's do whatever. Because it's been done, and the girls do it too. So
yeah,
it is what it is. I just don't think it should have been public.
Yeah.
You know, that's all.
I mean, his response was what? That girls do it. This is what girls do for their joints or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but this is my problem with men today, though. Why we all want to do what the girls do, son? Like,
word.
You know what I'm saying? If that's some bitch shit, that's some bitch shit.
It's the truth.
And you said it.
I think we cursing today.
You said it. So, you know, my thing is, like you said, it should have been done in private. You're going to do that for your homie, do it for your homie. He got a kid with this lady. He's been with her for a while. You don't know what the circumstances is. You know, it is what it is. But I just thought, like you said, it could have been done in private. Don't do girly shit out. I mean, don't do girly stuff out in public. My bad.
Probably a long time coming. He was waiting for that, for dumb long, and then finally he just couldn't hold it anymore.
You know what I'm saying,
Social media for everybody to see.
That probably, you know, everybody got that go-to role partner. Oh, this is my party partner. That probably was his party partner. He lost his party partner.
Him for dumb long.
Yeah, like, oh, let's go.
Oh yeah, they had tracks together, right?
Yeah.
B2K.
Like they've been touring from early.
Yeah.
You know, them scream tours and stuff.
They was getting it in with the teenagers back in the days.
I don't know if PS got something. You know, PS on rock. 25 and down, he ain't even rock.
No comments on fuckery today. That's no comments on the fuckery of Bow Wow now.
But my thing with that too is just like, so now they get back together. Now she ain't gonna want you around. Exactly. She gonna be like, bring this clown around me. Y'all was trying to clown me on social media. Nope. So that's on him. Bow Wow, he probably happy. He broke up with Erica Mena now. He needs somebody to be in a single corner with him.
You know, also this week, before we bring on our guests, Troy Ave got out.
Hey.
What is it, $500,000 for bail?
Yeah.
Heard they had to put up a crib or something for him.
The moms. I think Mom Dukes put up the crib.
That's great. I'm surprised he got bail, but I'm happy. I'm glad. I'm happy for him. Let him fight his case out free. See what's going on. You know, he was in the studio with 50.
See, I got a little quiet in there. I just got quiet.
I'm happy for him. I mean, get from my behind bars. It's a bad situation because you go to jail. You know, your friend got killed. It's like, you know, turmoil. So maybe he'll have a little peace where he can get his head together and hopefully make some good music and be able to pay these lawyer fees. Okay?
Yeah. I think it's about to be popping for him. You know, as in anybody else, we support our people when they first get out of jail.
Yes.
More than we support them when they graduate.
Hey.
Wow. That's what we do, though.
Yo, so that Memphis Bleak story that's false?
Bleak denied it. Okay, so there was a report came out. Some people actually presented papers stating that Memphis Bleak signed for bankruptcy, that he had about $200 and something thousand left in assets, only in assets, and maybe like 20 something thousand in cash. So he denied. He was like, I don't know where this came from. No, it's not the case. Yeah. But you know, I know he has Duce and you know, I just think that was somebody just put that out there.
What Jay-Z said, Memphis Bleak is good.
He was like,
that's what he said.
As long as I'm allowed, is he obligated to state that? Are you allowed to grow and change your mind?
I don't think he's out, but I mean, you got to remember, Bleak has kept on the outside of things. Bleak and Bleak's people have kept Jay out of a lot of drama, a lot of different nonsense. That, you know what I mean? They took all that street heat. Think about it.
Yeah, it shows a lot of loyalty. I mean, at the end of the day,
no doubt.
Yeah. So listen, we're about to bring in a very, very special guest. This guy's Detroit's finest sports journalist, sports analyst, world-renowned, one of the most highly talented sports minds that you can find in the business. I sold it, right? It's hot. My man, Rob Parker!
Yeah!
I break him out. What's going on, man? right. What's good? What's good?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Have a seat. Get the headphones on. Yeah, look at this guy. Such a self going around, shaking everybody's hand.
Well, I gotta make sure I say hello to everybody.
No doubt, no doubt.
I am always.
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
How you doing, Mr. Rob Parker? Welcome to We Say What They Can't, man.
First of all, I just want to start off by saying, you know, a lot of celebrities and people of your stature, they, you know, they say things, but they don't follow through. You said, when I come to New York, I got you. I'm coming here, and you kept your word, and I deeply appreciate that, man. I respect that more than anything.
Definitely.
No problem whatsoever. You know, any opportunity to come on, and I appreciate you inviting me. That's the way I look at it. Yeah. So I'm great to be here, and whatever we want to talk about, I'm in. I'm in.
Wait, are you sure?
Yeah. Okay, listen, we have a segment called Lovers Lounge.
I don't know if you want to get on Lovers Lounge.
Hey, check the left ring. Is it good?
Let me see.
No, I'm singing.
Oh, he gonna get it.
Okay.
He gonna get it.
Even better.
Yes.
Set it up.
So we got my man Rob Parker, straight out of Jamaica, Queens, New York City.
That's right.
That's right. So the first question I have for you is what made you decide to get into sports, broadcasting, writing, everything, and what first made you want to do that?
It's so funny that you asked that because I'm coming up on this is my 30th anniversary in the business.
Oh, wow, congrats.
Yeah,
Word. Give it up for that.
And when I was a kid growing up in New York and I was about 9 years old, I used to read 3 newspapers every day.
Right.
Really? Front to back or just sports section?
Sports first.
Yeah.
And then I would also read
start at the back, go to the
right. But sports first. So I used to read the Daily News in the morning, the Post on the way home from school, and then I delivered the Long Island Press. Years ago, there was a little afternoon paper that circulated in Jamaica where I was from. I had a little paper route, and I used to just say to myself, I wanted to play first base for the New York Mets. That was my dream as a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, and I always said, well, what I do if I can't make it as a baseball player? Because that was my love. And so I said, you remember the old TV show? I'm sure they still show once in a while, The Odd Couple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody knows that. If you grew up in New York, you've seen The Odd Couple. And Jack Klugman played the role of Oscar Madison, sloppy sports writer and all that. And I used to watch it, and I said, man, he got the best job in the world. He going to ball games for free, free food, all this other stuff. I used to say, man, I want to do that. So then I pushed back a little bit when I was in 2nd grade. I had a teacher. I went to PS 50 in Jamaica, right there on Liberty. Governor Mario Cuomo, matter of fact, graduated from PS 50.
Oh, wow, dope.
And they told me, my teacher her name was Miss Noble, and she said to me, she pulled me aside. I'm in 2nd grade, so what does that make me, 7 years old?
7 to 8, yeah.
Right? Said, you should be a writer when you grow up. So she planted that seed in 2nd grade. I took my love for sports, and I put it together, and I said, if I don't make it as a baseball player, I want to be a sports writer. And that was the only dream I've ever had my whole life.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know you got a scholarship to play baseball, right?
No, I didn't have a scholarship, but I was a good baseball player.
Kamel's just like, yo, this guy was incredible with baseball.
I was. And I really, like everybody else, when you're a kid, think you're going to make it or whatever.
Right.
Which is fine.
You probably could have took Keith Fernandez's spot.
There you go. He was pretty damn good. But the thing is, and I say this whenever I talk to kids, is always like, just have a backup plan. I'm not trying to tell you you shouldn't want to make it to the NBA or NFL and don't have those dreams, but what is your backup plan? Because everybody can't make it.
Right.
So that's really what drove me to deciding to be a sports writer, and then, the broadcast and all the other stuff that came along with it.
Oh, damn.
Well, speaking of that, let's run down your resume for everybody, for all our listeners who's watching. Y'all should know him, but if you don't, you're going to know today.
Okay.
So let's run down your resume a little bit for the people.
There you go. Well, I went to school at Southern Connecticut State University. I got a BS in journalism. Went to Columbia University, got my master's in journalism.
Nice.
Started my PhD at NYU. Never finished it. These were my options. Do my PhD at NYU or cover the Knicks. Which one do you think I chose? So I dropped out of the PhD program and I covered the Knicks.
Right.
But I worked, first job out of college was Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And it's about I always say it's like 5 years from New York because that place was like crazy. But it's only like 3 hours. And so I went there and I worked there for about 5 months. And then, boom, I wound up getting hired at the New York Daily News. Oh. I was 22 years old.
Wow.
And at that time, man, people who worked at the building, they were like, who do you know here? How did you? Right. They were all like, because I wasn't like an intern or an apprentice I was a full-blown sports writer at 22 years old.
That's amazing.
And they told me when I got hired, they were like, and I still can remember because it was real. It was like, you got 6 months to prove yourself. If you do the job, you're in. If not, we're gonna fire you. That was it. There was no half-stepping. It was up to me to go out and do what I had to do. And I made it. And I worked there for about 5 years. But again, my love was always baseball. And at that time, the Daily News had 2 really good baseball writers. Michael Kay covered the Yankees and Bob Clappers covered the Mets. So I'm looking at myself saying, these guys are young. I'll never be able to get past them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I needed to do something else to get to my dream, which is covering Major League Baseball. Cincinnati Enquirer called and they asked me to come cover the Reds. Now you would think, okay, you leaving New York to go to Cincinnati, which is much smaller.
Right.
But I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it from the standpoint of what I'm doing. I'm doing, at that time, that job is covering the Cincinnati Reds was the biggest job in that city.
Right.
Bigger than covering City Hall.
Yeah.
So I could have stayed in New York, covered the NBA. Then I was covering the Nets and the Knicks. You know what I mean? And done that. Yeah. But I said, this will help me longer down the road in my career.
Right. So the Knicks and Nets record had nothing to do with you going to Cincinnati?
Well, I mean, you're right about that. It was bad teams back then. You're right. When I covered the Nets, they were winning like 17 games a year.
They still doing that.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be real bad this year.
Not much has changed.
P.S. You up?
Oh yeah, okay. We just watched the ESPYs this week. Like I was away, so I didn't get to see the ESPYs until after, like a day or two after. I'm curious to know, what did you think of how it opened with LeBron, Carmelo, and Wade and Chris Paul, their statements? And also, do you feel athletes, black athletes, have a responsibility to speak on social issues?
Absolutely. I admire them, and I think that you have to. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of guys who are so caught up in, because one of my biggest criticisms of Michael Jordan, who's a great player, is that he never stood for anything.
Definitely.
Right. And it's not about. It's not about. I don't want a guy to stand up about every topic but things that really affect your people or whatever. You can never get away from that. Playing ball is just a job, an occupation. You know what I mean? Life is bigger than that. And I think in that case, those guys are admirable because they live it. They're a part of it. They understand that when a car gets stopped, it don't matter who's in it, what you do for a living, what's your education, that something could go down. And I think that's why it's important for these guys to step up and let people know that it's not cool. You know what I mean? And we're not going to sit here and be quiet just because we get paid millions of dollars and we play ball.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
P.S. kind of took my question, but I have another one. All right, so what is your most favorable or memorable interview?
That was my question. Damn, we stealing today. Go ahead.
There's a lot. I mean, I've done a lot over 30 years. You know, I've met just about everybody and covered everything. And, you know, I was at Chase Stadium when the ball went under Bill Buckner's leg. I was in Cleveland when Michael Jordan hit that shot over Craig Elo. I was sitting courtside.
Okay.
I remember saying to the writer next to me, you know, what are they doing? Because they were double teaming the inbounds.
Yeah.
I said, no. Double team Michael. There's only one guy who's going to be able to make that shot with, with less than 3 seconds to go. I remember that. I mean, I've just been at so many things, but I would say, it's funny because I was talking about it in the car on the way over here, and probably two. One, I interviewed Darryl Strawberry, which was relevant now with the
30 for
30. I interviewed him. I was in college. I was 19, and Darryl Strawberry was 21 years old.
Wow.
And that was my first big time interview. Here I am, a college student. And the other one was Derek Jeter.
Captain.
I talked to Derek. I had talked to him. I said, hey, one of these days I'd love to interview you about growing up and, you know, what it was like. And he had never talked about it on the record, growing up biracial, what it was like, how he was treated. And he really opened up and gave me some real stuff about how he was treated, how he was called the N-word, you know what I mean, and all that. And and how people didn't know how to come at him and who he was or whatever. But so those two things stand out the most.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. In this recent weeks, free agent Kevin Durant, he decided he wanted to go to the team with the best NBA record, 73 wins. Faced a lot of criticism. Some people like, yo, you was up 3-1. Why would you go to that team? How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I feel bad.
I have my fingers crossed at the table. Like, please don't like it. Please don't like it.
And the problem is, I think younger generation. I'm not trying to point fingers, but the bottom line is, too many guys now aren't in the same realm when it comes to competition.
Right.
I'll give you this as an example. I always say, it's an AAU mentality.
Exactly.
And what's happened to these kids is, in the old days, you would have 3 of the best players, right, in New York. One guy played in Queens, one guy in Brooklyn, and one guy, in Manhattan.
Right.
Right? And they would want to be the best player in the city, right? So they would play against each other. I'm trying to beat you, you trying to beat me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're going to say, Rob Parker from Jamaica, Queens, the best basketball player in the city.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Hands down. Now those 3 guys play together, don't have any competition, steamroll over everybody so nobody loses.
Right.
And that's what's going on in the NBA, this whole idea. Now, and Kevin Durant, how in the world, I would say to him,
Get him.
had they won that series, do you believe he would have jumped ship?
No.
That's
No.
what
And
tells you
Draymond
about
Green
it.
just recently came out and said they were the better team.
They
Andre
should've
Iguodala
won.
said it.
Right.
Iguodala
said it. He said they
Good-
were the
good
better
call.
team
They
all
choked.
year.
They choked.
Yeah,
and really up
he
3-1. Right.
He choked, right.
And
He had a lot of turnovers in the fourth quarter.
I just thought it was bad.
I didn't even know he had the ball. I thought he was hiding in the corner. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
And I know LeBron kind of started that thing, and I know there's other people always on these players have a right to do whatever they want. They're free agents or whatever, but I don't think as far as from competition standpoint, it's good. I just don't think it's good to pile on 1 or 2 teams, and that's it, man. When you're on...
Wait, so let's flip it. Let's say you got a whole bunch of people over there at ESPN. Got people at Fox. You got your own thing going, right? They say, come on and join the big boys over here. But you got a great thing going. Do you go or do you stay and create your own?
It would have to be.
And the check is kind of nice over there.
But to me, it'd have to be like, are you on par though? You know what I'm saying? If you're on
Gotcha.
par, then I think if you got your own thing, I would want to do my own thing.
Right.
That's just me. If
Exactly.
we're on par. Now, if you're telling me I'm working here and I'm making like little or nothing, and I got a chance to make some big bucks, come on, man. I mean,
so the money is even. Let's say the
money's
money's
even, then I'm staying with my thing.
Gotcha.
My project.
Okay, cool.
Let me play devil's advocate though. What about the people that say, what's the difference when teams build up these dynasties like the Lakers of the 80s, the Celtics of the 80s? When they make these great teams, they say the players are only doing what teams been doing. Now that they have the right to do it, they want to choose their own fate. Is it a difference when teams build up? Because I agree with what you said, but I also say, because we always talk about the great 80s, and which I watched, it really wasn't too many good teams.
Okay. I hear you, and the NBA does have that problem because I think in the last, since 85 or something, only 10 different teams have won. So
Exactly,
I get that. But the difference is Magic Johnson was drafted.
Right.
He didn't. Right. People didn't move in the prime of their career. Even people try to bring up, well, Charles Barkley and Scottie Pippen and those guys went to Portland or whatever. They were at the end.
Yeah.
I understand why somebody at the end of their career trying to win a championship would be willing to do that.
Yeah.
But when guys in the prime of their career, you're also talking about Kevin Durant is going to take a back seat to somebody. He's a tier 1 player.
Exactly.
Don't tell me he's going there and he's going to surpass.
I don't think he has tier 1 heart though.
Curry, you know what I'm saying? He's still going to be the
I still think he's
the back, man.
he's going to hide behind Curry and Klay Thompson in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
In the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
I mean, you're like a third option. These guys should be a number 1 option. Ain't no third option.
That make no sense to me. But
So, what do you think about me, Cinemax, thinking that the NBA this finals was a fix?
No
fix.
How could it be a fix?
It was a fix.
All right.
They up 3-1. They wanted it to go to Game 7 each and every time. I'm thinking for ticket sales. This is what I'm thinking.
Ratings. No, I hear you. And your point about do they want, and I'm going to shoot you down, but do they want, I'm gonna tell you, Do they want it to go 6 or 7? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Six games is where they need it to go. Like anything less than that, they lose.
Right.
All right, so it's a business. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Game 7 is a bonanza if they could get to Game 7 on the NBA Finals. But my point to you, if the NBA is fixed, the San Antonio Spurs would have never won 5 championships. They have the 5 lowest ratings ever for the NBA Finals, so they would never.
But that was a long time ago. I'm talking about right now, right now.
The Spurs won 2 years ago. I mean,
I'm just talking about this series, Mr. Parker. This one right here. This one.
It wasn't fixed, but I'll tell you, I think
Aisha Curry over here.
I'll tell you that's right. But what the NBA did do is they probably should have suspended Draymond Green in the conference finals.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And see, they didn't want they didn't want the Warriors. I think they were trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, so that they wouldn't get knocked out without one of their best players. But then when it came time for the finals, they couldn't overlook it again. So that's why they said, well, if he's out for Game 5, maybe the Cavs win and we get to at least 6 and maybe 7. So then again, I think they saved the Warriors in the conference finals, but then I think that they did it to them so that maybe the series could go long.
Mm-hmm.
They had to do something about that because I mean, it's one thing to practice your handle, but Draymond Green got to keep his hand off everybody's balls, man.
Right.
Like that don't make no sense to me. Pause.
You're right.
But listen, I want to take some people on your journey from Jamaica, Queens to Daily News to Cincinnati to Detroit.
Wait, real quick. That's his way of saying you ain't brag enough. You know what I'm saying? You ain't brag enough, so we're about to brag for you. All right?
You know,
let's go.
You had you have a very good resume, and you're still going and you're still building it. Before I really get into stuff, you're very outspoken. You've always spoken your mind, and that's what people love about you. But a couple of times it's got you in, a little controversy here and there. What would you say to other black sports analysts coming up? Would you like tell them to speak their mind? Is it worth it? At the end of the day,
good question.
It is worth it. That is a good question. And the bottom line is if you hire me for my opinion and I don't give it to you, what's the point of me being there?
Absolutely.
It makes no sense. So I'm not going to go into a meeting and the way everything goes down. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that looks back and goes, oh, I shouldn't have said this or I shouldn't have said that. I don't believe in that. Right. Because I know I've done my due diligence. I've done my work that helped me form the opinion that I brought to the table. So, I think even in the RG3 situation that was at ESPN,
right.
I think as people look back on it now,
he was a smart man.
All I'm saying is it wasn't out of left field or crazy.
It was.
The reaction might have been crazy to it, but that's just, it is what it is. So I always say you have to be yourself.
Absolutely.
That's why they hired me. They didn't fly me from Detroit to Hartford, Bristol, Connecticut every week because they wanted me to say nothing.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I worked there for 8 years, and I always tell people, nobody believes me, but I'm telling you, I had 8 great years minus 1 day. That's the only day there.
Wow.
Exactly. I had 8 great years there. I never got called to the principal's office. I never got suspended. None of that. None of that in 8 years.
I want to elaborate more on the ESPN thing, but before that, I want to tell people some of the shows you were on ESPN. We know, but
right. I did. I was on Stephen A's show when he, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And I was on Numbers Never Lied, which is now turned into Michael and Jamel's show. That's the show.
His and Hers.
His and Hers is good.
Yep, His and Hers. And I should do another show that went on ESPN Classic. I'm just forgetting the name of the show.
It was on First Take.
ESPN Classic now, and then First Take.
And you had your own show. Talk that talk, man.
Well,
I performed on that show.
Well, that was the show in Detroit.
That's right. Talk that talk, man.
And I started a show, which I always hoped would be national. I still believe that it was, but I had a show in Detroit called Sports Rap.
That's right.
And it was sports and hip hop music put together.
So dope.
And it was really a fun show, and it did well locally in Detroit. And then I have another show that I did in Detroit. I own a barbershop called Sporty Cuts in Detroit. I've owned for 14 years.
Oh, cool.
And so we had a show also out of the barbershop called Shop Talk.
Nice.
And it involved, guys talking about topics.
Yeah.
My take, which I call Getting Robbed, which starts the show.
Getting robbed? Wait, you're in Brooklyn. You got to elaborate.
So, and then we would do a sneaker challenge. We had a thing called Trash Talking Twitter. People to trash things in sports on Twitter, and all kinds of different elements. And that was a real good show too. And now I'm doing On the News in Detroit. I'm the 10 p.m. sports anchor.
Yes, sir.
And we do a thing called Barbershop Sports, which incorporates all that. And it's the first local news program in the country where the barbershop plays a factor, where we have more debate rather than me just showing scores and highlights. It's more about my opinion and what's going on. And so I was able to, that's what made me take that job, because they gave me an opportunity to create something that had never been done before.
Nice.
And in a market that was cool as far as Detroit and people buying in.
So let me ask you a question. Let's say you're a free agent, and ESPN called. They said, listen, we want you to come back. We're going to pay you a nice, handsome, we're going to cut this nice, handsome check, but we want you to tone it down a little bit. What's your reply?
Thanks, but no thanks.
No doubt.
I mean, you can't have it like that. And the problem is, and it's different for us, and we know this, you got to acknowledge it. But I just can't sell out the whole notion that I'm going to get up there and do the happy dance and just be happy that I got a check. And I'm not going to keep it real with people.
Right.
My responsibility is to the viewers and the fans and the people out there to just be honest with give them the honest take.
That's
and
right.
I think people appreciate that about me. If somebody's bad, I'm going to tell you they're bad.
That's good.
They're good. They're good.
That's good.
I mean, you just spoke about something I wanted to ask. How hard is it toting that line when you speak in your mind, but you know there's only so far you can go on like a major network? I watch ESPN. I mean, that's all I really watch, to be honest, sports. But at the same time, you can't go over that line. And then when you don't go over that line, you have some of us who hit you on Twitter and want to call you Uncle Tom.
I never called him Uncle Tom one time.
You know what I mean? Like, how hard is it? Because I know, like, I see both. I understand it, but how hard is it to do that? And what would you say to people who come at you like that?
I don't think it's that hard to be genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem is when you do that dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna eventually trip.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to.
That's all right.
I'm taking that.
Okay.
I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I'm just letting you know. I'm taking that.
Right. You eventually.
Yeah.
And then that's where you get into trouble. But if you stay true to who you are and your beliefs and whatnot, I'm never going to be tripped up. No matter what happened with ESPN and everything, I'm still the same guy. And I've never changed. ESPN was a place I worked. It wasn't me.
Right.
A lot of people, they grab hold of it and they think that's who they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's not who you are.
Love it.
That's true.
I've worked everywhere.
Yeah, love it.
And you know what? If it ain't there, it's somewhere else.
You know what? You just dropped a real serious jewel just then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm learning. I'm here.
Look, listen, let me throw you the alley.
No. Wait. I still have one question for
I'm sorry.
him. God. Who's your favorite baseball player?
Favorite baseball player of all time?
All time.
I know it ain't Hank Aaron.
Oh,
We do our research over here.
Yes, we do.
Hey,
research going.
we can talk about that because that's one, and that's keeping it real. That's the ultimate.
I agree with you.
Okay, that's the ultimate, and we'll talk about that because that column, of course, made national news. But I will once again say Darryl Strawberry. Darryl Strawberry is my favorite player. In fact, I thought to myself, if I ever had a son, that I was going to name him Straw after Darryl Strawberry.
Really?
That's how much I like.
Wait, the first name?
The first name, his name would have been Straw.
Straw Parker.
Straw Parker, and I might throw in there. I was thinking
that could go both ways. Maybe a boy or girl.
Maybe it could be. Yeah, Straw, because it could be short for strawberry.
Yeah.
If it was a girl. But I did think about that. That's how much I just loved him as a player. I just thought when he came, when the Mets got Doc and Darryl, you had two of the biggest young black stars in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, the city. You remember the Mets owned the back pages back then. You guys are too young, but in the '80s, during those times.
I remember.
Hey, I like that compliment. Yeah, I was too young.
I had caught the chicken pox. My uncle was taking me to the Mets game, and I couldn't go because I caught the chicken pox. I was so sad.
Listen,
I love that.
This guy's answering questions a little too smooth. I'm ready to shake him up a little bit.
You want to go Lovers Lounge?
We could do that.
One more quick more. We got a few more minutes, but we can't bring you on here just not bring up Cornball Brother, the comment at all that I absolutely loved. But were you surprised at the backlash, totally of that? Because I was
watching that.
Stephen A. Smith, who's on the show, even to this day, he says so much reckless stuff. He got into a war of words with Kevin Durant, who just left and all that.
Yeah.
To me, what was the big damn deal? I still don't get it.
You know what? people giving me credit for creating that. I didn't create that word.
No.
I've heard that before, but go to the Urban Dictionary. My name is in there under that.
Oh, get out of here!
I'm like,
that's the reference.
I'm like,
I'm sad to say I have that app. But that go, y'all proceed.
So I was like, I'm the same way. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a. It was a perfect storm. Remember, he was their chosen one. You know what I mean? He was the big star, selling the most jerseys, was coming on. So it just was the reaction got the pushback. And it didn't help that, you know, even on the show, it kind of seemed like it had come out of somewhere or out of nowhere, when in reality, this was all talked about pre-show, and we had all knew where we were going with this. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
And the initial response wasn't bad. It was the pushback came, you know, with Twitter and all this other stuff. So once all that thing happened, it kind of took me by surprise too. I just was shocked that people were like,
Listen,
never heard it.
I Googled it. I went to the Urban Dictionary. Right? It is right there. Cornball brother. Bro. Bye, bro.
I told you.
You're legendary. You're legendary.
That's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
Listen, that's why we say what they can't.
Absolutely.
That's what our radio should go when.
That's funny.
That's gonna be your eulogy.
You know, we could call him cornball brother if we feel like he's a cornball brother.
If he said that today,
it would be nothing.
It would
be nothing.
I was watching it when he said it. To be honest, I was watching it. It wasn't nothing, but I knew it was gonna be a backlash because where he said it. And sometimes, you know, I knew ESPN, Disney, they're gonna try to toe that line, and they're gonna throw you to the, you know what I mean? They're gonna like make you pay for it. When, like you said, we discussed this pre-show. Like, come on.
Everything that you see on television, on these shows, there's a 2-hour meeting before it hashes out. You don't have everything that you're gonna say.
Right.
It's not where they say, hey, Rob, you say this, and Skip, you say that. But we need to flush out and have an idea of where we're going with the conversation.
I mean, to me, that's what the show's about. They want you to go there. They want them to go there. They want to create that. So then now it created, and it went a little bit too much, I guess, for them left or whatever it was, and they made a more big deal out of it than something they wouldn't have done today. The guy who wore that T-shirt that I absolutely love that said, with the Indians, with the baseball thing, I forgot exactly what the T-shirt said.
Bomani Jones.
Yeah, when he did that, I thought there was going to be a big backlash. I'm so glad there wasn't.
Right.
I'm so glad there wasn't.
When that happened, we don't have to name any names, but do you feel, unless you want to, but do you feel like someone could have stepped up in your defense?
People did step up in my defense,
Okay.
and there was a lot of pushback from people in the building because they didn't understand, you know, like you're asking a guy to give his opinion, and then you're gonna
get mad at him.
Right. I
Right.
mean, you could say, hey, Rob, hey, you know, can you tone it down a little bit, or maybe you went a little bit. Let's talk about this, where this come from, just so we get an idea or whatever. But the whole notion of it, as a guy who's done live TV for you for 8 years and never been called to the principal's office, that's kind of harsh for one time where you might say, okay, well, we didn't like it or whatever.
Right.
And it was just the perfect storm. My contract was ending.
Oh.
You know,
there you go.
That's how they did.
So you see what I'm saying? So my contract was it was easy just not to renew it.
Right.
Whereas if I had a 3 or 4 year deal, then they probably would have tried to work to smooth it out.
Exactly.
It just was easy. And like I said, and that's why it was the perfect storm, just not in my favor.
Right.
But I'm telling you, I don't regret. I am who I am. Nobody's perfect. I'm not one who can't say I apologize. If I offend somebody and that really wasn't my goal in life, then I'll apologize to you. I have no issue with that. But I'm always going to be honest and tell people what I'm feeling, and that's what I do.
That's right. So I'm gonna bring you into the Lovers Lounge.
Oh yeah, we got time. One quick question. Let's go.
One?
Yeah,
no, I got two.
One. We're gonna have to do it in an after party.
Okay. So, do you have a celebrity female crush? Being that you're single and all.
Celebrity female crush.
Singer, actor.
That's a good question.
Yeah. That's what we do here. Yeah, we finally got him. We finally shook him up.
You got me because you know what? And I hate to say this. I really don't live in that world of fantasizing about other people. Do you know what I mean? That
yes.
I don't. So I don't go like lusting. I would look at somebody and say, man, she's gorgeous, or look at a booty on her or something. But good question. I say no right now.
No? Nobody?
No.
Nobody? Okay, so when you're in a relationship.
Okay, let's do that.
When you're into acting, are you honest with your partner about your sexual needs?
Yes, because you should be honest from this standpoint. and you see, this is what happens a lot, especially I would say this with women. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
They will tell their beautician, their sister, the woman who the checkout at the grocery store. They'll tell everybody they're not being satisfied or he ain't doing the right or pushing the right buttons, but they won't tell him. And I believe that when I tell you what I need, and only until then can I hold it against you if you're not meeting those.
Right.
If I don't share with you what it is that I need, then I can't be mad at you if you don't do that for me.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So once I tell you I need X, Y, and Z, and you don't do X, Y, and Z, now me and you got an issue. But up until that point, I can't assume you know what I need. I got to tell you.
Talk to him.
Yeah, we got one more? Is that for the room or that was for Raw?
That's for all of y'all.
I ain't telling you. Nah, I'm just saying. I'm saying, but we're going to have to bring it along slowly because we gets it in. I got some thoughts that go on in the head, and you might not want to know that off the bat. So we bring that in slowly.
So do I. I'm saying that the first date. I'm going to tell you. I don't got time to be going on these dates. It's expensive to go on dates. I'm going to tell you this is what I'm into. I like this. I like that. You should like this. You should like that. If you don't like that, I gotta.
I'm the same way. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say because honestly, I want to see your reaction.
Yeah,
I can tell by your reaction if we going out again.
Yeah,
like the reaction ain't what I want to hear. Like, nah, this ain't it.
Wait, y'all talking about on the first date though? You gonna be like?
I mean, yeah, me. I am. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I am.
Early on.
I'm with Pyro on this one.
Early on.
Hey.
Ease me in, reel me in. And take it slow. You don't want the first day be like, listen, I need you to take it down deep.
I'm gonna reel you in with a couple.
No.
You don't say it like that.
I'm just saying.
I would say something. First of all, I'd get you a couple drinks, and I would ask you, is there any limit to what you would do to please your man? See, I just
see. And then you see me. I said,
let me help you. Like, since we got brought up here, I'm gonna say it like this: compared to sports, if I'm playing in a game, we playing basketball. I used to be nice. I'm going at you hard the first time. I'm not bailing you out with a jump shot. I'm going to see what you would do. That's how you do in a relationship. You don't, just look at it. No, you want to see her vibe. Because I'm telling you, vibes don't lie. People miles lie, but vibes don't lie.
And if she gets a whack reaction, you know what I'm going to call her? A
cornball.
But listen, we got this thing we do at the end of the show. We call Fire Off. And this is when you can say anything you want to say. You got 60 seconds to just vent, speak your mind about any issue, anything you want to talk about. Raw Parker, I need you to fire off.
Tom Brady is a cheater.
I love it.
Yeah. And I'm glad that he got suspended. I'm glad he finally gave in his appeal and it's all over. And I'm glad that the commissioner, who I'm not a big fan of, but that he stuck to his guns and didn't broker a deal. And for all the people in New England who try to bail out Tom Brady and make excuses for him, nobody is bigger than the game. And people say, well, the air in the football really doesn't matter. Well, if it didn't matter, there wouldn't be rules about why there's a certain air pressure that needs to be in the thing. And Tom Brady could have gotten out of this very easily from day one. All he had to do was have that press conference and say, you know what? It's on me. I asked the ball boys to take air out. I didn't realize it was underneath the limit that it needed to be. It'll never happen again, and I apologize for what we did. I wasn't trying to break the rules. And the league couldn't have suspended him because you have to be able to show intent, and you wouldn't have been able to find intent in that when the guy comes clean.
Right.
And that's the problem. And you know what? I know he's got the model wife, and they won the 4 Super Bowls and all that, but Tom Brady, when his plaque is put up in Canton and he makes it to the Hall of Fame, it should include on there that he was suspended, he's a cheater, and we're not even mentioning Spygate, which also helped him when he knows the defense. So the bottom line is Tom Brady has cheated his way through his career, and finally, he's going to pay for it. And he got caught.
Let's go, Giants.
We want to thank you for joining us. Deeply appreciate it. Give it up, give it up.
Yeah.
Let the people know where they can find you. Or your social media services, emails, whatever you need, your show. Plug it.
I'm at Rob Parker WXYZ on Twitter. And also, I write for a website based here out of New York called theshadowleague.com. You guys should read it.
Okay.
A lot of stuff, it's for us. I mean, there's a lot of good sports stories, but for brown people, for us. And I write a column on there once a week, and there's all kinds of other good writers and stuff on there. So theshadowleague.com. And for people who don't know, the Shadow League is what they used to call the Negro League. So it's named after the Negro League. It has a rich history in baseball and whatnot. And so people know baseball is my number one sport. And I am one of only 10 African Americans in the country who vote for the Baseball Hall of Fame. There are 500 voters.
Wow.
And there's only 10 of us. And that is my most prized possession in this country.
No doubt. Listen, we had a great show. We had a great time. Thanks again for coming through. We're going to see y'all next week.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
We say what they can.
Yes.
Yep. Peace.
Don't be like Brady and Draymond Green. Stay away from them balls.
Time again, as I pick up the pen, as my thoughts submerge, these are those words. I glance at the paper to know what's going on. Someone's doing wrong, the story goes on. Mary Lou just had a baby, someone else decapitated. The drama of the world shouldn't keep us so frustrated. I look, but it doesn't coincide with my books. Social studies will not speak upon political crooks. It's just the presidents and all the money they spent, all the money they spent, all the money they spent, all the money they spent.